it's me. I am back from Norway. And we had a great time. I'm just checking that I am actually live, because that would be useful. I hope everyone is keeping well. Let me just... no. Oh, yes, I am live. Woo! So, what an amazing trip. Hello, Louise. So, yes, I am back. I do have to do the whole disclaimer bit. Fewer than 1% of demonstrators earn the incentive trip, and it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Hello, Kay. Hello, Karen. So I'm only an hour and a half later than I had hoped, because my streaming software decided it was going to do an update. Then my laptop decided it was going to be an update. And I just couldn't be stressed, really. So I just waited till everything was fine. So I hope you've all been keeping well while I'm away. I do have to apologise for no sound on Thursday's video. You know, sometimes these things happen. Hello, Lorna. So, yeah, I have to say I think you've had better weather than we had in Norway. I'm really enjoying the sunshine. We were a little windier than you are, but hey. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Shaz. So, I'm going to flip the camera down and get started. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, so nothing's new there. I haven't quite got into back to work mode yet. Theoretically, today is still a holiday. So if you email me today, you'll get my out of office, because, you know. So, flip the camera down. Things are working. I'm assuming you can all hear me, because you haven't said you can't. So, I am using, buried under my paper, Brewed for You. This is a carryover item. No, my hubby didn't get to go with me, Shaz, because he doesn't like cruises, because he's done one and he didn't enjoy it. So no, it was a friend of mine. I thought that because wing it is the best way. Thank you, Louise. I had this strange idea that because it didn't involve a flight, we would be going together. But no. Anyhow, Brewed for You. It was my brother's birthday yesterday. He is currently overseas. So I have a little bit of wiggle room to send him a birthday card, because he's not back for a little while. So I'm using Brewed for You. I have a vague idea of what I'm doing. So let's get started. It is no flying. Yeah, but no. He, when I had earned the trip, which was very late in September, I went into the house and said, so this is the demijohn that I'm using first with early espresso ink. So I said, we're going to Norway. And he said, you know, I'm not going. So it's like, okay, fine. Be like that then. I'm going to use early espresso for my other glasses as well. So I've got the straight pint glass. And I haven't actually decided which of these is going to, which card that I make today is going to be for my brother, but one of them will be. So that's the mug, as it were. So that's early espresso. Oh, I'm going to need, oh no, I decided I'm just going to go and get my crushed curry and I think pecan pie. I'm going to colour in this using blends, but I think I'm going to use ink for the others. The waterfalls and the fjords were great. We didn't actually make it to one of the places we were supposed to be going. I mean, we made it to the place we were supposed to be going. We just couldn't get ashore. Yep, that's right. Because there were incredibly high winds and currents. The captain tried terribly hard, but it just wasn't going to happen. So that's a kind of pale ale-ish maybe lager, don't know, don't care really, beer. And this I'm going to do with pecan pie, and that's for the kind of more bitter. I did take the thing off there, that's all right. So this is pecan pie. I think I need a quick stamp off. It does make a difference if you're quick or not. But the plus of not being able to go into the particular town that we were supposed to be going to was that the captain went back past the... That's all right. Went back past the Seven Sisters and the Suitor. When we went past the first time, he went really slowly in a 360. And then when we went round the second time, he went even slower and did another 360. So these are SU 200 and 100, which I thought I would use for the demijohn. So yes, it was... So my demijohn I'm going to have solid. But we managed to get into all the other ports, so that was fine. It was fine, I have to say. Hello, Brenton. This has to be my fave stamp set for Dancer. Absolutely, Louise. It's definitely a good one. So long as your male person drinks beer, it's kind of going to be a good one. So what was I saying? Oh yes, so there was one day, well, night really. Was it that night? Can't remember if I think it was that night. I'd have to look it up on my Fitbit. Anyway, we had a very rough, one very rough night, which was fine. I've sailed for years, decades, literally. So I can sleep through pretty much anything and have slept through pretty much anything and everything. But it was really rocking. It was a huge ship, so there wasn't a problem. But so that was 100. This is 200. So yeah, it wasn't a problem for me. I slept without any problem. A few people didn't, including my guest, who apparently was up and down all night trying to stop things banging and crashing until 3 o'clock in the morning, which was when we turned into that particular fjord. And that was fine. As I say, my head hit the pillow at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I woke up when our coffee and tea arrived at 7:30. Can't remember the last time I've slept for more than 8 hours, but I slept all the way through the whole thing. However, I then looked at my Fitbit to see how I had slept, because I felt I'd slept really well. And it said I'd only slept for like 3.5 hours or something. I thought, well, that's mad. I was asleep all night. And as we were talking to people on the ship, I realised that the swaying of the ship stopped as we turned into the fjord at 3 o'clock in the morning, which was obviously why my Fitbit thought I was awake until 3 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't work it out. Really could not work it out. But anyway, so yeah, I had the best night. It was amazing. And I know a lot of people didn't, and I'm really sorry they didn't, but I had the best night. Right, I'm going to bring in... So I'm using this paper, which is from the Eclectic Papers, which is the one that has this on the cover, at the front, the swans. And it uses... Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy. I'm going to grab Misty Moonlight blends. I think. Misty Moonlight. Because I quite fancy having something that goes with the paper. So I'm going to use Misty Moonlight Light just for the top. It's very subtle. Okay, so I need to die cut those. I'm also going to use the Geometric 3D, no, it's not 3D embossing folder on this piece of crushed curry. This has, so it comes with two folders. There's one that does lots of triangles and this one which does chevrons, diagonals and dashes, and I'm going to see if I can just pick up the chevrons on this piece of crushed curry that just happens to be this width. Wasn't deliberate. It is about 1¼ inches wide. So I'm going to grab my small cut and emboss, and I need to grab the little plates which are there. So I need right, using a standard embossing folder, the light grey plate and the number 1. So the number 1, then the cardstock, then number 3. So let's whiz that through. Hello, Barbara. Oh, it's been an amazing week. Hello, Nora. Hello, Pam. I have to say though, so I got home and my guest's husband brought us home. My husband dropped us off in the first place, and my guest's husband brought us home. And when I got home, Pepper, our black cat, was sitting in the kitchen saying, "Mom, I missed you." My husband was behind Pepper, and I cuddled Pepper before I cuddled my husband. But hey, hello, Chris. Loved seeing everyone's photos and posts. Yes, absolutely. And we all did different things, which was part of the fun, actually. So my guest and I didn't do many we didn't do any paid excursions because some of them were ridiculously expensive. I mean, stupidly expensive. So we didn't. Just going to use a bit of washi for this. You can't see what this is, so let's bring it in. So I'm just sorting out my dies. So that's the demijohn. I need the mug and some more. Hello, Carol. Oh, thank you, Shaz. Thumbs up are always welcome. So yes, it was fun to see what other people have got up to. We have no regrets about not doing some of the excursions because they were just stupidly expensive. Norway is not cheap. They have a very, very high standard of living, which means that things do tend to cost more. But we had a great time. Walked for miles. I'm slowly sifting through my my photos to sort out which ones I want to scrapbook. I haven't got halfway yet and I'm over 100. So I think what I'm going to do is keep whittling down and then whittle down some more. Because I don't honestly think there's going to be any other way I can do it. Because I cannot scrapbook over 100 photos. That is just too silly for words. Right, will these all go through together? Yes, they will. Let's just straighten my grid paper out. Oh, you've got to love a new plate or new plates. Right, okay. So, oh, flying beer, why not? So the day before we left, my brother and sister-in-law and myself went to a rock festival, Rock the Moor, and we go most years when it's, not a pandemic. So I have to say I was a little frail. just a little itsy bitsy frail when we drove down to Southampton on the Sunday, but it was fine. It was fine. It was a good start to my break. And as I say, theoretically, I'm still on a break. I had decided I was going to take a break until the 1st, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a live today. I'm not going to stress about it, but I am going to do a live. On the subject of which, one of the reasons I decided to do the live was to say that we've got the DSP sale starting on the 1st. We've also got a joining offer starting on the 1st. Both of these run for the whole of June. We're in June. The joining offer, right, so this is early espresso, just half early espresso, tent folded. So yes, the joining offer runs for the whole of June and is more value. So I think I've got these values in my head. I want to say £154, €207 for the usual £99, €127. That's what I want to say. We might get a scrapbook live. Possibly. I'm still not convinced that I like Stampin' Up's papers for scrapbooking. However, we might be able to. We'll see. I won't say no, but I won't say definitely. No, I'm going to use tape. Right. I could at least do one scrapbook page, I guess, using Stampin' Up stuff. The problem I have is that we don't do ephemera and we don't do stickers, and I like both. We do, however, now where is it? Which end of the room is it? Let me have a quick look. There. I bought specifically this stamp set, the Next Destination, because I think that would work well with scrapbooking. So, yeah. So I might be able to do a scrapbook page. Possibly. Possible. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Right, so I've got my chevrons. I'm going to line my paper, or my card rather, up on my inches. And this is going to go there, across to there. So that is nice and straight. I can then trim the back with my sticky scissors, which I stupidly put away. Oh, and there's something I must show you that I deliberately dug out from the stuff that I collected while we're away. We get to spin the wheel. This is nothing to do with what I'm about to show you, but we get to spin the wheel for all sorts of interesting stuff. That is mostly Stampin' Up stuff that is only available if you're on the incentive trip. But that's not what I'm going to show you. What I'm going to show you is this. I got a green glue. So this is one of the badges that Kylie and Bruno Bertucci sell, but they had a whole load with them, and they were basically just going around doing a lucky dip with everyone. And that's what I got. My guest got some ink pads. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. But I do need a birthday. So, which I thought I did. Birthday. Right, so I've got a piece of basic white. I'm going to use my early espresso ink pad again. Hello, Christine from Sydney. So yes, so we've got the joining offer, and we've also got, I think I need it quite so wide. We've also got the DSP sale. So for the whole of June, certain DSPs from the annual catalogue are 15% off. Yay! Now, of course, if you put those into your starter kit, you will be double dipping. So you'll get more value for your starter kit, and you'll get more value for your starter kit. You can tell my brain's not back yet. So I'm actually going to switch over to this side for my mugs and glasses, and I'm going to have my there, I think. Now, what else have I got on the... Ooh, I know what I can do. So I'm going to add some bubbles, just as a pattern. So I need my little baby. There's my little baby, and I'm going to do these in pecan pie. And I'm just going to add some bubbles to this strip. Where did I put my... There it is. Tatty piece of grid paper. So... because I want them going off. I'm just going to do some and then decide at which point I'm going to cut this. But I just want something there. Hello, Deborah from Michigan. Right. Okay, cookie. So I need to layer these up. So where's my big green glue, rather than my small green glue. Now that I'm going to have there, because I get really upset. I can bring it up a bit. I get really upset if there's a hole with a line through it. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment, because that may not have made much sense. So we're going to have that as sort of as high as we can. Now what I mean is I would not want that. That upsets me. That doesn't. That does. That does. So I don't like a line in paper. So I'm going to have this down here, which means this one I can have further up to balance. And I'm actually going to add those with dimensionals. Come on. Note to self, don't put your cut and emboss on your dimensionals. It's not a good look. Dun, dun, dun. Just want a little bit there. Oh, I've got a little bit there. I've got a little bit already. So this is the edge of some mini dimensionals, which is great for cutting strips. And then just two on here. So I'll have that there. This will be just there, and then this I'm going to have coming there. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. So I can have it just tucking underneath. Ooh. Apparently I did some colouring on the back of that, never mind. Didn't show through, so that's all right. So I'm just going to look through my card to put my third dimensional on, and then I will cut that. So we're going to go in under there. There we go. A bit higher up. There we go. Like that. And then I can trim that from this side. And that is our card. Now, let's see if I can add some bling. I think it needs some bling. That's the wrong colour. I haven't got my head around the new bling yet. Ooh, no. Actually, no, that's mango. Is that crushed curry or daffodil delight? I'm going to call it crushed curry, I think. I don't think there's anything else that I would prefer. Could use those. No, I'm going to use wild wheat. Going to use wild wheat. I am going to use wild wheat. Right, take your pick. Where are you? This is the first crafting I've done since I've been back, so I do apologise if my brain is kind of nowhere, because it feels like it's nowhere. So we'll have that one in there. I know it says it's wild wheat, but it's doing a very good impression of crushed curry. We'll have that one in there. And then we will have a smaller one all the way over there. There we go. Right, card one tick. So there we go. That is my first card. Let's hold it there, then you can see it. Right, okay, so I've got to think what else I can make now. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Yep, so I'm gonna clean stamps, and then I'm going to use this shape. Now I have already sprayed this with cleaner. I say it's the first crafting I've done. It's technically not quite true. While my computer was taking its time doing its update, I did do some bits for my creativity in a box, which I needed to get done. So that should be going out this week for those of you who are on that. So I'm going to need that. I am going to need that. So let's get them out. Don't need the demijohn or that big block. Thank you, Carol. I'm glad you like it. Thumbs up on my channel are always appreciated, as are sharing, as is sharing. So if you feel so inclined, no, I'm going to use a C block and a B block. Don't need that C block then, or that D block, or the little baby A block. Right, okay, which... I think I'm going to stick with the birthday, because I haven't quite decided which card is going to be my brother's birthday card. So let's stick with the same sentiment. Right, okay, so I need some white card. There's a scrap of white card. I may need some more as well. Now, I am going to stick with Early Espresso as my outline. And I think I'm going to go pumpkin pie, but again stamped off. So, 1, 2, 3. I want 5. So I'm afraid there is going to be quite a bit of die cutting. Have fun, Nora. Oh gosh, it must be nearly your son's wedding. Wow. If it hasn't already happened. So I want to grab my cleaner. Do that now, then it's done. Okay, let's grab pumpkin pie. Going to go full strength pumpkin pie this time. Now, there are some bits that you can kind of overlap a little, but I'm not going to bother. So these lines, you can kind of line them up. There's one that lines up with one of the images on the background, but I'm not going to bother. It's just too much like hard work. Hello, Marlene. So I have to say, I think the highlight for me of the whole trip was actually just hanging out with people. The hospitality suite was great because you could just go there and hang. Don't know that it did my waistline much good because you could go there and hang and eat sweets. And they had peanut brittle, which I love. They had licorice, which I love. All sorts of things that I just adore. So I may have had a little bit more than I should have done. But you know, it was a holiday. So why shouldn't I? That's what I'm thinking. So apologies, I'm going to have to cut this 5 times because I have 5 images of the same thing. But that's just life. I'm going to go this side first and then I'll do the 3 that are in a row. Getting it lined up, always a plan. Right. Fortunately, it's a small die, so it won't take long to do. So here's a question. I always buy the new kits when they come in because, you know, I do. I love a kit. I think they have a really good place in your craft room because if you want quick and easy, why wouldn't you grab a kit? Who else likes a kit? Hello, Karen. Yeah, who else likes a kit? Or is it just me? I'm just going to cut the bits off that I don't need anymore. Because I love a kit, and I have in my mind that I want to do an introduction to stamping, and that will feature kits, because I think if someone's new in particular, it's a really, really good place to start. So I've just spotted on one of our neighbours' cats, white cat, who has got a new collar. And the reason I know he's got a new collar is because the old one is hanging on my studio door. Apparently he and Pepper had a bit of a set to while I was away, which meant that Pepper for a short while had a limp. He's fine, but yeah, the other cat lost its collar. So Karen Ayres likes kits, Pam likes kits. Good. Because yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do a series of get to know stamping kind of stuff. So a beginner's guide to stamping, but I wasn't sure how many people actually liked kits. And, you know, if it's a beginner's guide to stamping, you guys probably wouldn't necessarily. Don't have enough time to make kits, but I have to buy them all. Oh, Carol. Hello, Wendy from northeast coast of England. Windy northeast coast. Oh, chilly. It's not glorious. I mean, no, that's wrong. By comparison to what the weather was like in Norway last week, it's lovely here. It is a bit windy though, so it is a bit chilly, but it's okay. Right, okay, so this goes back in here. So yeah, I think I'm going to do new stamping. I've done something kind of vaguely similar before, but not exactly the same. So yeah, I think some new stamping. Right, so we have those. I've also dug out, again from the eclectic papers, this pattern. Obviously we've used that pattern, which has that on the back, and this, and I think I'm going to use some of this, but with this on it as well. So it's going to be quite busy, but I don't think that's a problem. And this, by the way, will be my last card because I need to go and get some lunch. So ooh, no, yes, yes. So I'm going to cut this at 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. I do have a method to my madness, honest. So I'm going to have this going across the middle. I'm going to cut it down because I just want it large enough for my beer. So 1 3/4 inches is what I want. 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to go white base, but I want one of these colours picked out. So I think I'm going to kind of go there. I'm going to use shaded spruce. I don't often do shaded spruce, but I think that's what it is. Oh no, it's not shaded spruce. Is it garden green? It's garden green. Don't often use that either. Ooh, or is it pretty peacock? I think it's pretty peacock. I think it's pretty peacock. Let's have a look. Nope, garden green. Okay, I've just reorganised my drawers, so they're now in alphabetical order. That's the one. So I actually only need, oh, I probably only need that. Probably only need those. So I'm going to use those, which are just scraps that I had. So let's fold this like that. So this is going to go on there. Are those going to be big enough? They are. Right, okay. So I'm going to add my strips top and bottom with my green glue. I was getting a mess and put the glue on top and bottom at this point. I think it'd been nice to have a refresher class. Okay, that's a good idea. Yep. So Chris says, I love the kits, especially for beginners. I buy everyone. Wish I could also obtain Paper Pumpkin. I'll talk to you about Paper Pumpkin in a minute. I've recently taken to kits, says Lorna, made up some and boxed mix boxes as gifts. What a great idea. Also used some for coffee and cards, and people like them. Excellent. I've done Karen's beginner's guide. Pam would also like Paper Pumpkin. As I say, I've got some updates on that. Don't get excited. Wendy says yes, she does like some kits, usually the stamping ones. That makes sense. What is the DSP you're using, as I missed the beginning? I'll come to that as well. Nobody calls in when I'm not watching, but as soon as I'm on, all the world wants to talk. Oh, lovely. You're popular, Shaz, that's why. Right, so the paper, Pam, is the eclectic paper, which is the fat paper. So it's the one with 48 sheets in the new catalogue. I'll grab it for you again in a moment. So I'm coming off the end, but level with the bottom with my garden green. Like that. And again with this piece, I'm going to go off the end and level with the top. And that way I can trim its tiny bit there. So it's this one, Pam. It's the one with the swans on the front. Really thick set. Some of the papers do go with other stamp sets and things that are in the catalogue, and some of them don't. So, Paper Pumpkin. So I was thrilled, honoured, stunned. We're assigned tables in the dining room, and we were sitting next, we were on a table for 8, although not everyone appeared, and next to us was Patty Bennett and her family. So because we had spare places, although there were 3 of them, we invited them to join our table. We could easily add an extra chair, so we did. And we got talking about kits generally and Paper Pumpkin in particular, because obviously we don't get Paper Pumpkin. And she had a really interesting kind of thoughts on both kits and Paper Pumpkin. And I would say possibly... Oh, Lorna! Is it your birthday lunch? Is it your birthday today? Have I forgotten it? Eek. I know I'm terribly behind with team birthdays. Do many apologies. And Pam, I've got your bundle to send out, but it arrived while I was away. So yes, she wasn't lyrical about Paper Pumpkin or kits for that matter, which I thought was really interesting. But no, there is no. I've not got any news about Paper Pumpkin coming to Europe or indeed anywhere other than North America. Right, so that's the paper. Let's put this piece of paper on too. And let's actually stick it there. Then it's between the 2 bits of green. I'm going to use a seal for that. And then we'll have a mass trimming. So I'm going to have this between the green. Like that. I have still got to do the sentiment. So just trim that off. So the B side of this striped paper has pretzels on it. So that would go with the Super Cool stamp set, because that has pretzels in it. So it's kind of almost like giving us bits of paper to go with the stamp sets that don't necessarily have paper. Right, okay, so I'm just going to pop these on. I need my sentiment, and we know it fits on there. I'm going to do it in pecan pie, just so that there's more pecan pie around. I haven't quite decided where that's going yet. Probably down here. Then I'm going to maybe push it all the way up. In fact, I think I'm going to push it all the way up. Right, so I want my mugs, glasses even, to be reasonably evenly spaced. So I'm going to add 1, 2, and I will pop something down there. And I know what I'm going to pop down there, so that's 4. Where's the other one gone? Okay, who's stolen my... Oh, there it is. You're trying to do your DSP list for the 1st of June. I think the eclectic is in the offer, but not all papers are, but I think the eclectic is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that fit? Yes, it does. Excellent. I've seen there's new online exclusives. Yes, there are, Shaz. So for demonstrators, and again, if you join, you can put pre-order in your kit, in your starter kit. So anyone who wants to join, A, you get the discounted paper, and B, you get the chance to order the pre-order for the online exclusives, some of which are Christmas. So there's something, open sleigh, is it the open sleigh? Can't remember. Anyway, and some gorgeous paper, which I will probably be using for a creativity in a box. I'm thinking I might do Christmas in July. I know not everyone likes to do Christmas A at all, or B early, but I'm thinking I might. We will see. But yeah, that's where my head is going at the moment. Assuming it hasn't sold out by then, because I was going to use the online exclusive paper, the Irresistibly Bloom or whatever it is, the current online paper, for my April class. It's sold out, so I couldn't, because that was going to get me through the, oh dear, what am I going to use, because we are closing out a catalogue. That was the plan, and then it sold out. So I'm going to go middle and end. Is that going to fit? Yes, it is. Middle and end, and then my spacing should pretty much work. So the next exciting thing for me and for some of my team is that we've got a team event up in Birmingham at the end of the month, which is one of the 35 in 35 events. And Sarah Douglas is coming. So I will get to see her again, because I spent a reasonable amount of time with her on the cruise. She is the most gracious person spending time with people. Right, that's going to go up there. I think I'm just going to cut that like that. Pop some dimensional on the back, and that will be good to go. Logic says put that pointy bit there. Well, okay, so I cut it too big. I've seen it. Only a few that are not. Oh, the papers, yes. The new online exclusives do look lovely. I haven't decided what I'm definitely going to get the paper. And I think I'm then going to decide what else I get. Shaz, you're very welcome. Oh, and at some point you must let me know how the last operation went, because I saw a post about that. Right, so I'm just going to trim that. And again, I'm going to use some bling. I don't think we've got pecan pie bling, but it would be nice if we did. Oh, we have. We've got these. We've got the these. Have I got an open packet of the these? No, apparently not. Oh, we've got the those. And the those. We've got lots of pecan pie. Choice. I'm going to go with sequins. Going to go with sequins. Right, and I'm going to use these dark ones, which I think are not far off pecan pie. I'm spreading these the way around, so I am still doing my triangle, but it's a big triangle. Do I want any more? No, I don't think I do. I think I'm done. So we've got that card and we've got that card. Those are today's cards. Thank you so much for joining me for my first very erratic live since Norway. And I think my first very erratic is probably the way I should be saying it. Were you told about the new secret products coming up on the trip? No. No one else will see this post. Haha! Did you craft on the boat? No, we didn't craft on the boat, Chris. The only thing we got to see were some projects that are using the new mini catalogue items, which I will be posting in the coming weeks over on my Instagram. I was going to leave it a little bit. Thank you, Marlene. Because they're mostly Christmas, although there was some Halloween, I think for me it's a little early to start sharing Christmas. It's just me. Anyway, let me flip the camera back up. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up is always welcome. If you don't already subscribe, you can do that in the bottom right hand corner. I will be here again, all things being equal, on Thursday. I'm going to be doing another product share, just so you know. So yeah, I will have details of that on my newsletter. Will be the first place that goes. So do remember to sign up to my newsletter if you don't already do that. And the big news, of course, is DSP share that coincides DSP discount rather that coincides beautifully with a joining offer. So if you've been thinking about joining, now's the moment to do it. I would love to welcome you to the team. Thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.